Did you know the woman named Jenka had a younger brother? His name was Balos. Like his older sister, he had magical powers unlike anyone could imagine. Hello everybody and welcome back to Cave Story. It looks like Curly gave up her breathing device to save us. Now, if you want to... that message you saw before, that lets you know you are doing hard mode correctly. So, before we continue on, check Curly. Use the tow rope to take her with you. If you leave her here, you will fail going to hard mode and completing the game 100%. If you continue on, the blast doors will close and she will be trapped there forever. Make sure you take her with you. But thanks to Curly's breathing device, right here, Curly's air tank, we now have infinite air. With the Dark Palace now flooded like this, we can go through the lion's mouth here and continue on through the waterway. Now, I will make sure to show you the essential tips to making sure you still get Curly. You get her hard mode done, or you get hard mode correctly. Like I said, it is essential to save Curly 100% to do hard mode. Now, of course, now that they give us an air tank so we can survive underwater, what do? Water level! We still can't move very well underwater, and I'll give you a spoiler here. You never get anything to move under the water easier. This is it right here. Water is still difficult to move through. The threat of drowning in this game really isn't that big though, except for that one boss fight. Make sure you watch out for those spikes though. Those do a hearty 10 damage to you if you touch them. Glub. Well, no, glub. We can't glub anymore. Now here's some currents. Watch out because they'll often try to lead you into spikes. Currents work the exact same thing as the airflow. If you hold the jump button, you'll go higher with the currents. Now, if you want some extra health real quick, go through here and tap the attack button as fast as you can. It's better if you have a level 3 Polar Star. But you can get some quick HP. Now, here's the important part. Watch out for all these jellyfish, though. If you want to, just blast them away with the Hyper Missile Launcher. Now, you'll want to get up to there. Do you notice that door up there? Yeah, this is kind of the difficult part. If you fail here, you have to restart from your last save point if you want to do hard mode correctly. Now, when you get to about here, be careful, go over, tap back, and I failed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut ahead to the part where I succeed, so I'll be right back. Thanks for waiting, everybody, even though it was only like a millisecond for you guys. Now that you've made it up here, go into the store right here. Save, take a nap in the bed, which is good because it'll restore your health too. You will drop off Curly onto the bed. You can check her out. She's still alive. Check out the computer screen here. That reminds me, I also record some of my findings on that notebook. Now it really has nothing to do with anything except now you can check right here for a notebook that's covered in dust, read it, and you can learn that robots have limited aquatic mobility and flooding was always an issue. Now you can service flooded robots, which is what's wrong with Curly right here. And now Curly is free from water. With that, she'll slowly awaken. And she went unconscious again. Now, very important here, because I've made this mistake a lot. You're still not done. Talk to her one more time. Okay, the process for restarting will take some time to complete. You do not have to wait. Just pick her up again. Take her with you. Do not leave her here. It's very important she comes with you, or you will still fail going to hard mode. Now, we just flooded her, and we're just going to go back into the water, but I consider it's because she's around us with the air tank, she's actually fine. Ooh, I almost always get hit by that part. Okay, so just follow the waterway along here. Be careful because, ooh, you can get hit like that. That's not good. Try and take the highest road that you can, or... oh boy. Oh dear. Look at me fail. Something's coming! Now in here you can move 3 directions if you like. I consider the sword still the best weapon for this for this area. We have Ironhead. He's kind of difficult to hit. It's really only when he's coming back that you can hit him effectively. Just get up close and stab him with the sword a bunch of times. Those fish, as you can see, will not hurt you until they puff up. They're a great source of getting experience and health, though. Do not hit the blocks. They deal 10 damage. Almost got him. One more hit ought to do it. Got him. And with that, Curly slowly drifts off and there's nothing you can do. But you're doing it right. The music's changed here. The Mimigas are gone. Every single Mimiga from this village has been kidnapped. They even took the fat Mimiga who eats. We are effectively more than halfway through this game, though. Go into Arthur's house and get ready to teleport somewhere when suddenly it's Professor Booster. Had you not actually rescued Professor Booster, or had you talked to Professor Booster, he would have died and this scene will never happen. He will give you the Booster version 2. Oh, and I got an achievement. That's interesting. I don't even know what that achievement's for. Alright, make sure you equip the Booster version 2. What is this? Never even heard of that. That's new to me, actually. Alien metal? Huh. Anyways, with Booster version 2... okay, so the first thing you get is the Booster version 0.8. And what that does is it allows you to hover gently in the air. You get moderate height. If you're falling, though, it's kind of difficult to get height. The Booster version 2.0. Did I equip it? No. Okay. Allows you to boost in 4 directions and has an amazing boost range. You are now very mobile. What you want to do is come back up here from when you fell back to the first cave. This is the key to getting the strongest weapon in the game. You're going to want to head back to that gunsmith where you took the Polar Star from. Had you not traded in any item that requires the Polar Star to turn in, had you not trade that in, the gunsmith will now be awake. Did you happen to see the gun I made? Someone pilfered it while I slept. I should have just slept with the thing in my chest pocket had I known it was going to be the case. He will notice that you've got the Polar Star. And he gets very angry and takes the Polar Star away from you. Apparently put a significant amount of wear on it. I was raised to believe that weapons should always be constructed by oneself, and I always thought that those who fight with a firearm created by another person are all fools, growing overconfident with powers that were never their own to begin with, then blaming their own shortcomings on the equipment they use. Fools. Still, now seeing my gun used by you with your hands, I'm so very incredibly touched. To put such an incomplete gun such as the Polar Star to this degree. Pardon my rantings. How about this? I'll give it to you. After it's completed, of course. We now have the Polar Star has turned into the Spur, the best gun in the game. Now, he says something that I really like. As long as there is someone who will appreciate the work involved in creation, the effort and time well spent. To this end, I will continue to create for as long as I can. And that is one of my biggest inspirations right there for continuing my Let's Plays. Thanks to everybody who still watches and appreciates my work. It's just really freaking awesome. Anyways, the Spur. Let's talk about the Spur. First off, its first form. It can't gain experience. Any experience gained is just depleted immediately. Its first attack is the level 4 Spur. This is a charge-based weapon. Here is level 1 charge. It's just a simple beam that you can get really quickly. Does a large amount of damage and pierces enemies. The second form is a dual beam, akin to level 2. The third form, which takes the longest to charge but has the greatest damage, is a hyper beam, essentially. This is the strongest weapon in the game. The reason why being is it never have to worry about experience at all. Pierces through enemies, does massive damage to bosses. It's just an overall amazing gun. You probably never want to use any other gun other than the Polar Star. There is the Spur, excuse me. There is one other gun that does live up to the name as the next strongest weapon, which I will be showing you later. As you can see, the first cave got a ton more enemies, didn't it? Only to let you test out the Spur and how amazing it is. It just destroys enemies. So with that, we're going to want to go back down here, back to Arthur's house. Pardon me. Clear my throat real quick. I'm very tickly today. I think it's starting to rain here, and allergies are starting to pick up again. What you want to do is check the computer screen here. Kazuma wants us to go back to the egg corridor. Well, this should be pretty easy. Except the egg corridor has been absolutely destroyed. I don't even know what caused the explosion, but the egg corridor has been destroyed and a lot of the dragons are laying dead now. With the Spur, though, we should have no trouble. A lot of the dragons may be dead, but they've still got the will to fight. Those would be the zombie dragons. Now check out what the Spur's real power is. Haha! Destroys everything. Be very careful and mindful of the ceiling, as stuff will fall to try and hit you. We're gonna have to go through Cthulhu's old abode. Watch out here, because now we've got the presses that will fall onto you. And the demon spikes, which will deal a lot of damage to you. It's a pretty sad sight when you all think about it. None of these dragons stood a chance. Watch out for this thing. It has a massive explosion range. If you don't think you're going to kill it in time, run away. Its explosive range is huge. And when I say huge, I mean make sure it's not in the screen when it explodes huge. Curse these little bug things. Kind of getting our butt whooped here. Watch out here. The big spike will fall. Now, here's an optional boss fight that you don't have to get, but I bet a lot of you are tempted to this treasure chest right here. Get some missiles. But now our routes are blocked. Meet the Sisters, one of the only dragons in here that didn't actually die. You can only attack them when their mouth is open. With the Spur, this boss is actually no problem. Just make sure you're charging up, and kablamo. They'll often shoot fire, but you can just jump over that. As you can see, the Spur decimates bosses. Just deplete the health and they'll be destroyed. You don't have to defeat each of them. That's yourself a nice save point, though. Pardon me. Now we can continue on. Go ahead and grab the save point and health real quick. It looks like the egg has been hatched. Successfully, even. So it's not a dragon zombie. Or a zombie dragon. Don't worry, Professor Booster's okay. Now that's where everything starts to fall together. The doctor got what's called the Demon Crown. That's why he's able to control Balrog and Misery and make them do their will. And he's got all the strength and magical power on top of it. Ending number 1 is this right here. Talk to Kazuma through this entire thing. You can actually say yes to escape. If you want to complete the game all the way through, this is one of the endings. Actually, you should say no if you don't want to escape. So we have to destroy the core to make sure all the Mimiga return to normal. So that is a potential ending, is saying yes. Welcome to the Outer Wall, though. The Outer Wall is definitely the place where you'll be using your booster. If you want a hidden or a secret, though, go this way. Make sure you fly right up there. Watch out for this small hole right here. Boost right over it and come to this room. This is the little house. Where'd that husband of mine go? Have you seen my husband? Yes, I have. We will go check that later. The husband is actually the small man that you saw in the graveyard. Right now we want to go up the outer wall now. Made much easier by Booster version 2.0. Seriously, I'll show you guys Booster version 8. There's a mission where you have to use a challenge that has Booster version 8. Okay, you see that small little gate right here? This is a secret. Press down to go into the clock room. If you are doing hard mode, right, the chest will be able to open. If not, you cannot collect it. The 290 counter. We'll be able to go into what that does a lot later. I present this to you, Challenger, in anticipation of your determination. Show me your best. I'm not very good at though. Don't worry, it's a completely optional item. You do not have to get it to complete hard mode. Watch out here, though. Though there are no skulls, there are sand crocs in those things. Do not step on the sand. Sky sand crocs, I like to call them, because they're blue. And there's these kitty ghost things that shoot sperm at you. No! Projectiles aren't breakable, though, and they do a hefty 5 damage a hit. But we should almost be out there now. Ooh, ooh. Oh, up we go. Finally we made it to the storehouse. Oh, it's a Mimiga. It's a very strange looking one, though. Turned into a Mimiga by magic. Guess that's what happened to Sue. Probably Misery. I am here to save you. There's not much more you can do to talk to him, though, so we're going to head to the plantation. Now, this is where we stop and take a break for a little bit. In the next episode, we're going to be exploring the plantation here and all the monsters around. So I can't wait to see you guys then. Until then, I'll see you guys later.